This is just absolutely crazy as we have a major update revolving around this Phoenix Sun team talking about Devin Booker as a superstar for the Phoenix Suns vocalized his frustrations last night following the game, and it was reported that it was directed towards the head coach and coach Mike Budenholzer. We're going to have to get into all of this, discuss what this means for the implications for the Suns, what this means for Mike Budenholzer, and will the coaching carousel continue and wind through this season as we go for another head coach going into the next season. We'll be diving into all of that and more on this episode of Suns Digest. I am Bruce Velez, and you guys have been absolutely fantastic showing your love and support. I want to give a huge shout out to everyone that came through to the stream yesterday where we were live like we are every single week, 6 p.m. Eastern Time, 4 p.m. Phoenix time. Absolutely fantastic. We're going to be able to talk about this Suns team and dive in. I ultimately thought they were going to win this game. They fell short, but they have another game going on against the Pelicans tonight. So will the Suns get revenge? Most likely not. But without further ado, let's dive in. Let's get into the news at hand. Make sure to grab that snack. But no way this is happening, ladies and gentlemen. This is absolutely crazy that we have to see this unfold right in front of our eyes. But Devin Booker last night was speaking out and had some frustrations after the Suns lost to the New Orleans Pelicans. And Booker played absolutely fantastic. 36 points, 9 assists, 7 rebounds, was in his bag, shooting efficiently, was doing all he could for this Suns team. But unfortunately for this Suns squad, as we know, it just wasn't enough because defensively, this team doesn't have it, regardless if it's roster construction wise, regardless if it's rotation wise. They are just not going to play defense. It is going to be a one sided game of offense where the Suns are just going to try and outscore the opponent. If they outscore the opponent, they win. If they fail to outscore the opponent due to lack of shooting, lack of shot creation, lack of rotations, lack of any defensive ability, well, then the Suns lose. And that's something we saw unfold last night. And Booker was extremely frustrated with this performance and how it realistically all unfolded for this team. So we got some quotes here, courtesy of Gerald Bourguet from PHNX Sports, letting us know that Devin Booker obviously last night said that the team is just skipping over the details, saying they're always talking the get him next game mentality. And at some point you got to draw a line, and it should have been drawn a long time ago. And this was the quote that obviously a lot of people were kind of intrigued by. He also wanted to follow this off on by saying that he's frustrated and saying, yeah, that's been the story of the season. The fact that it could be fixed with just a little bit more talking, I would say. Things get tough, we get quiet as a team, and from my experience and what I've seen, that's not the way to get it through. And he also let us know that you need to fix some communication and execution issues as everybody has been on the same page. It starts with the leaders of the team. Obviously, me, Brad, and KD and coach. But for my history, there's 15 to 20 guys on the sidelines that know the game plan that should also be vocalizing and doing stuff. And maybe those players aren't doing it. Maybe talking about some other players on the roster, maybe talking about some other assistant coaches that aren't vocalizing, aren't projecting their feelings, and that's ultimately why it's been just Coach Bud, Coach Bud, Coach Bud, Coach Bud, and that's why we've seen these weird rotations of Bol Bol not getting utilized, Bol Bol then getting utilized, Bol Bol starting, Bol Bol not starting, Bol Bol starting again. Ryan Dunn thrown into the starting lineup, utilized, gets hurt with an ankle injury, taken out, now never really to be seen, only thrown in for the last 5 minutes. What happened to Oso Ighodaro? He was competing with Mason Plumlee for some minutes when they had Yusuf Nurkic. Now Oso Ighodaro completely out of the rotation, doesn't even play for the Valley Suns. It's so confusing with this team. It's really perplexing on what they do. And it all starts not only with the players, but with the front office, with the head coach, because the front office chooses these head coaches. They're the one that hire these people. So shout out to the front office for messing up on coach after coach after coach. And for Frank Vogel, it honestly wasn't a mess up on Frank Vogel. It just wasn't the right fit for this team. And ultimately, Frank Vogel, when you look back on it, was a blessing in disguise. It was a miracle that he was able to lead that Suns team to a 6 seed with even a worse roster than what they have this season. Because I'm sure that if the Suns had Frank Vogel this season, they would be in a better predicament than they are with Mike Budenholzer. But as we all know, let's get into the main part of the meat potatoes, where Chris Haynes let us know that weeks ago, Suns coach Mike Budenholzer called a meeting with Devin Booker, imploring him to tone it down vocally, leaving the star player shocked. Inside the meeting, which provides context to Booker's post-game remarks on communication. So, like we said, it was kind of pinpointed, and a lot of people thought, including Gambo, that this was directed to Coach Budenholzer, and it exactly was. Booker was told by Coach Budenholzer to quiet down, to not vocalize his opinions. That is absolutely asinine, crazy to even think if you are an NBA star player. If your coach tells you, all right, man, we know you're frustrated, we know you're not having the best of your time, but don't worry. Just be quiet, keep it to yourself, and we'll be okay. What? That doesn't make any sense. And this ultimately could stem to potentially why there was issues with Yusuf Nurkic. You look back and look at the reports. We all know Mike Budenholzer, Yusuf Nurkic didn't have a good relationship, and a lot of people were on Mike Budenholzer's side at that point. A lot of people were against Yusuf Nurkic, were, going at the big man, including myself for not playing and not having a great relationship. But who knows? Maybe this relationship issue with Mike Budenholzer stems further than just Yusuf Nurkic. Maybe it stems with a guy like Devin Booker, Kevin Durant, and that's why these guys aren't giving it their all on the court. You saw just a couple weeks ago, or even last week when the Suns played the San Antonio Spurs, that Kevin Durant got very vocally frustrated with Mike Budenholzer on the court. He obviously was yelling at him, "We need a defender. We need someone with size to help defend." And what did Mike Budenholzer do? Did not do that. He just let De'Aaron Fox go at Royce O'Neal, Grayson Allen, Tyus Jones with ease and just score what they were Victor Wembanyama. And unfortunately for the Suns, this is the kind of predicament that they are in this season. And ultimately, I want to know your thoughts down below in the comment section. I think it's absolutely frustrating that we have to deal with this as a franchise. Not only the coaching carousel, not only the front office dilemmas, but the fact that also that the players are also getting involved as well. So let me know your thoughts down below in the comment section. And what is going to be the outcome is the next part here as we ultimately look and decide what's going to happen with Phoenix. As we all know, the reports of Kevin Durant rumors and trades have been circulating all throughout the rest of this season and will be circulating through the offseason as he's on an extension, as he's on a 1-year contract. Will he be extended? Will he stay with the Suns? Will he be traded? Will the Suns fire their head coach? Will Devin Booker be traded? Will Bradley Beal still be here? There are a lot of questions revolving around this team. Ultimately, we still have some games left, and with the Suns entering their tough, difficult part of the stretch of the month of the year, with March and April coming up, I don't expect it to be pretty. I expect the Suns to miss the play-in at this point. I will say that with 100%. The Suns will not make the play-in. They will be one of the bottom 5 teams. They will miss the playoffs. Their first-round pick will be a lottery pick going to the Houston Rockets, and it will convey to the Rockets. The Suns will be intrigued by that. They will be listening, and they will, in my opinion, go out and try to trade for that pick. Regardless if it's trading Devin Booker, regardless if it's trading Kevin Durant, at this point, I do see the Phoenix Suns ultimately going into next season, going into a soft rebuild / retool, where they ultimately are moving off of Kevin Durant, trying to keep stuck with Bradley Beal, maybe keeping Devin Booker and building around them too. But if Booker's frustrated as well, moving off of both of them and going into a soft reset retool alongside Bradley Beal. And this is not what I want to see. This is just what I ultimately think is going to happen. Coach Bud will not be here. The coaching carousel will go through once again because they will try to please Booker and try to keep him to stay. But after trading Kevin Durant and failing to trade Bradley Beal once again in the offseason, Booker will also be unhappy that the Suns did not do what he wanted to do and trying to get Jimmy Butler, then traded KD, then ultimately fired the coach that he didn't like but still isn't happy. He'll ultimately leave as well. That's my honest prediction. Front office might have a little bit of a retool as well, but who knows with Matt Ishbia. Maybe he'll let the front office stay at this point because he gets to dictate what moves they get to make it. He ultimately gets to be the final decision maker. I don't necessarily know. In my honest opinion, front office is to blame first, then coaching, then players. Front office and coaching should be gone. The Suns should try to keep Kevin Durant and Devin Booker, trade away Bradley Beal, and invest in this team. But ultimately, with the direction that this team is looking to head into the rest of the season, and with all the rumors, drama, topics, conversations coming out with this team, it's just not pleasant and it's not looking great. So let me know your thoughts down below in the comment section, what you guys ultimately think about this Suns team, as it's been a disaster this entire season as fans. Like I said, thank you guys so much for tuning in, showing your love and support. And if you do enjoy the content, make sure to hit the subscribe button as we upload daily Suns content for you guys here on YouTube. And this is the central place for you to get it. Like I said, thank you guys so much. I'll catch you guys in the next one. Have a great rest of your day, and go Phoenix Suns. Peace out.